Here it is, finally, the World of Warcraft killer we've all been waiting for. What? No one plays that anymore? Well, how about this? Final Fantasy XI was fun, right? This is like that, but better maybe? What? No one's willing to pay a subscription fee anymore? Okay, this time for sure. I mean, look at this character creator. How can a game with such an awesome character creator be... Oh, that's the best part about it? In order to figure out how to make the best massively multiplayer online game ever, we're gonna have to look back at some old MMOs that we enjoyed, or for the sake of this video, ones that I've enjoyed. Now I've played a handful of MMOs in my day, but I do have my favorites. The short list is basically RuneScape, Ragnarok Online, Guild Wars 2, and Mabinogi. Everyone remembers RuneScape. It was like the first MMO ever. You could finally hang out with your friends online and go on epic adventures and crud with them after school. It was great. Ragnarok Online was more of a niche title, but it was basically the quintessential Korean MMO. Notable for its wide variety of job classes and skills, its charming mix of 2D and 3D graphics, and its very, very heavy use of grinding. If you wanted to make it anywhere in that game, you had to grind away at monster after monster to increase your level. But that was okay. After all, what else did we have to play back then? Halo? Ha! Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 were my only real foray into the World of Warcraft-like MMOs, since I could never justify paying a monthly fee for a video game, and I thought they were both great. But the last MMO I mentioned, Mabinogi, that game holds a special place in my heart, and I honestly think it's the most underrated MMO of all time. Mabinogi, I think it's actually pronounced Mabinogi, but whatever, is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game created by DevCat Studio for MMO publisher Nexon. I've had a character in this game since the day it rolled out in North America, and even though I don't have any video footage of it, let me tell you, it was a lot different game than it is today. Well, sort of. So you start playing this game, and first you're introduced to the main story. Like, it actually has a main storyline with cutscenes and stuff, so that already makes it better than half the MMOs out there. Not that a story and cutscenes necessarily make a game better, even though they kinda do, but I'm just trying to illustrate a point. This is just one of the many examples I think other MMOs should follow. The story is cool and all, but say you don't care about that stuff. Just ignore it, and the game will then introduce you to its lore. You start out in the country village of Turconeo, a place with this perfect hometown kind of feel that's just north of the world's central hub. This introduces you to the game slowly without bombarding you with a ton of information right off the bat that you're not going to understand anyway. It's simple and easy to understand that you start off in a village, you make your way to the city, and then you can go off and explore from there. And in these different towns, you're introduced to numerous charming NPCs, each with their own memorable character theme. And they teach you how the world works, but not in a way that feels tedious. Instead of dividing you off into some tutorial section, you're in the actual world, so while you're learning, you can just branch off and do other things if you want. And the game doesn't discourage this either. Instead of just giving you quests that have you follow arrows from here to there, they're like, there's the bank, there's the shop, there's the school, there's the farm, and the dungeon's over there. You can leave this place, but you're still baby, so I wouldn't recommend it. It's sort of like the beginning of Demon's Souls or Skyrim in that sense. Of course, all this was when I first started the game. They've since then thrown out all that and replaced it with this huge tutorial, and now they give you all this stuff right off the bat when you log in for the first time. Anyway, you're not limited to your job or class from birth. This is your fantasy life. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. And you don't have to focus on one thing either. Say you want to be a fisherman? Let's start fishing. Want to be a chef? Pick up some eggs from the farm and start cooking. Want to be a swordsman, brawler, archer, mage? All of the above? Go for it. I know this is sort of commonplace in MMOs nowadays, but what isn't so commonplace is that each of these different classes brings about a different playstyle. Instead of just doing all the crafting from random drops, where you collect the materials from actually makes sense somewhat. Spiders carry web, sheep carry wool that you can make into clothes. Food ingredients can either be bought at the store or grown at your homestead. Different tools are used to make different items, and it all makes sense how everything works. If you're a cook, there's a fun little mixing minigame that works sort of like real life, where you've got to figure out how much of an ingredient to add. If you're fishing, you play this fishing minigame. There's just all sorts of stuff like this. Every single skill that you train adds to your base level and experience points, so there's no harm in trying out whatever. If you get tired of traditional monster slaying, just go do something else. But you probably won't get too tired of it, because the combat in this game is actually pretty engaging. There's a regular attack, a smash attack, a defense skill, a counter attack, a windmill attack, and probably more stuff that I don't know about because I'm a mage. And you have to figure out how these attacks work in combination with each other instead of just coming up with a rotation and using that same set of skills over and over again. Enemies all attack differently, so you have to learn how to adapt to different situations. And it's not too confusing either because they don't load you with a bunch of different skills all at once. It's really fun. And on top of that, there are pets, mounts, plenty of environments to explore, a jousting tournament, river rafting, free flying, spirit weapons, different races, just so much. If I haven't convinced you to try this game out by now, then just take away one thing from this video. Other MMOs can learn from Mabinogi. This game had a ton of fantastic ideas that games that have come out since then have totally missed the marker on. It's not a perfect game by any means, but if you took some of the ideas of this game and implemented them into a new AAA title with tight controls and beautiful graphics, I think you'd really have something special on your hands. But until then, long live Aaron, long live Mabinogi.